Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to be doing more functions in programming. In the last video, we learned the basics of functions, so today we'll do a quick review on that. Functions are blocks of code that can execute one or multiple tasks, and when you call it, it runs all the code that's in the body. Functions can have lots of lines or even 2 or 3 lines. Parameters are values that are passed when declaring a function. To explain, I've got an example here. And there's a function called print number, and inside the parentheses we have int num, and that int num is basically the parameter. Calling functions with parameters. To call functions with parameters, you put in the value that you want. For example, we have over here on the right the print number function, and in the int main function we call the function print number, and then inside of the parentheses we have the value 7. Return type. In the examples before, we had only used the void keyword. This means that the function does not return any value. Well, the main function, it returns an integer, and the return statement indicates that the function has ended, so any code that's after the function will not be executed. Prototypes. If I call the function before I declare it, the compiler will throw an error. But if I wanted to define a function after the function call, I need to use a prototype. What are prototypes? When we use prototypes, we provide enough info for the compiler so that we can use our function before we define it. This allows us to define functions after we call the function, and even in different files. The syntax is as follows: return type, function name, and then all the parameters. I've got an example here. Over here we have void add. Add is, and then inside we have int. The void add int line ends with a semicolon, and that is the prototype. You see that after we call it, we don't have any definition before we call the function. So after we call it, we have a definition over here. That's it for today, and in the next video, I'll be explaining errors. Keep watching.